3 minutes is all it takes to stream in both vertical and landscape mode. 3 minutes is all it takes to stream in both vertical and landscape mode. 3 minutes is all it takes to stream in both vertical and landscape mode.
Minecraft 1.9. In the entire history of gaming, no update has ever been as controversial as the infamous combat update that completely changed the way you fight in Minecraft. 5 years ago, there were millions of players declaring Minecraft 1.8 as king, the last bastion of true Minecraft PvP. But today, they're all gone. Minecraft 1.8 is a ghost town. So, what happened? If we're gonna answer that question, we need to go back, way back, all the way back to February 29th of 2016, the release of Minecraft 1.9. For millions, Minecraft 1.9 was absolutely amazing. The end dimension was completely revamped with new mobs, abandoned cities and ships, even a set of wings to cruise around your world faster than ever before. But 1.9 wasn't called the end update. 1.9 was the combat update. And that's because more than anything, Minecraft PvP was completely changed. From shields to dual wielding, players had new options for their fights that most could only dream of. Most importantly, Minecraft got a brand new timed attack system, dealing more damage the longer you charge up your attacks. Now, honestly, everything here made complete sense. If you join a Minecraft survival world right now, you don't just want to spam your sword button over and over to keep the monsters away from you. Now, you add shields to block their arrows, huge axes to chop them into pieces, and even a brand new sweeping mechanic to drive off hordes of monsters. See, while survival players were pumping their fists, shooting off fireworks, shouting Mojang's name from the rooftops, somebody else was not very happy. Minecraft PvPers. You might think they'd be more excited than anyone about an update specifically for them, but back in 2016, Minecraft PvP looked like this, and this, and this. The 1.9 update ruined all of that. All of those little tips and tricks and metas that had been developed over the last 7 years, like sprint reset and block hitting, were suddenly useless. Entire game modes like combo couldn't even exist on 1.9. So what do you do when an update completely breaks your game? Well, you don't update. Hundreds of massive servers decided they would be staying on Minecraft 1.8 to keep the old combat, and for almost a full decade, that's where they stayed. Millions of PvPers almost completely disconnected from the rest of the Minecraft community, until just the last year or so. Since around the summer of 2023, the Minecraft PvP community has changed. The biggest PvP servers have updated, died off, or shut down. Players have slowly begun to update, either to 1.12 for servers like 2b2t or to 1.21 for modern servers. The 1.8 community is basically dead. But what happened to them? After all these years, why are they just now moving on? Well, as much as 1.9 was hated by a lot of players, 1.8 was never exactly perfect either. And that leads me to its first major flaw. 1.8 is hard. Back in 2016, everyone was roughly on the same level. You had good players and bad players, sure, but up to that point, everyone had been playing the same minigames on the same version with the same knowledge as everyone else. But over the last few years, that's changed. Like I said before, these guys have been doing nothing but PvP for 8 years. They know every trick in the book, and they've seen them 1,000 times. Every weekend, they're spending hours on a practice server, fight after fight after fight, just trying to get a tiny bit better at PvP. So if you take a break from PvP, or you're a veteran coming back after a few years, or God forbid you're new to 1.8 trying to learn how to fight, you don't stand a chance. I mean, these guys are drag clicking 100 times a second, god bridging across a 300 block gap. Most people can't do that, even if they practiced every day for a whole year. So, over time, these PvP modes just get harder and harder and harder, and eventually, you're not hopping on Hypixel to relax with a few rounds of Skywars, you're training for hours and sweating in every game just to see that victory screen. And some people just don't want that. But what if you do? Minecraft PvP is as competitive as it gets. Short of being a professional esport, there's really not many games that get as tough as Minecraft can. So, besides just how hard it is, what else is there making 1.8 die off? Well, I can't speak for everyone, but let me start with one that actually describes me. For years, I was a PvPer, through and through. Way back in 2014, the very first server I ever joined was a small Pocket Edition network called Ultra PE. Hey look, there I am. And guess what? It was a kit PvP server. You go through all my old videos, I was playing factions, kit PvP, Skywars, Bed Wars, HCF. Every PvP mode there was. all the way up until about 2019. By then, I had been doing basically nothing but PvP for 5 years, and as much as I loved it, as much as I still love it, it kinda got old. Survival, creative, prison, parkour, skyblock, I hadn't visited these games in half a decade. And at the same time, I was hearing about all this new stuff, like the Windcraft RPG or the ORE Redstone server, or even just these incredible new mods and mod packs. I was just floored. They always say the grass is greener on the other side, and everything just looked so interesting. I wanted to explore. So for the last 5 years, I've been doing everything but PvP. Playing parkour, constructing huge buildings and parkour maps, farming and survival, wandering through the wasteland of anarchy servers. And I don't think I'm the only one. Players from the 1.8 community are starting to see just how much they've missed elsewhere in the Minecraft scene, and they're giving other games a try. For a lot of people, it's not that 1.8 PvP was ever a problem. They loved it, and honestly, I still prefer it. But with all these other games, it's just not worth it to stick around on 1.8. And that leads into my next point, which is that not only are other game modes so awesome, but 1.8 game modes have gotten pretty stale. I mean, think about it. When's the last time you heard about a new game mode for Minecraft 1.8? I can't even remember. Maybe like Hypixel Skyblock? But Skyblock's been around forever, and Hypixel Skyblock doesn't really have the PvP we all know and love. All the staples of Minecraft 1.8, like Sky Wars and factions and practice, are 10 years old at least, except for Bed Wars and Egg Wars, which are basically the same thing, and they came out in the middle of 2015. That means we haven't gotten anything new for 9 years. Every new faction server that releases is just the same as the one before it. Every minigame on Hypixel is more or less the same as it was 5 years ago. A lot of these PvP game modes are all about stripping Minecraft down to the bare basics, like fighting and looting chests. But the downside of that is that there's not really anywhere to innovate, to improve, to update. Your only option is to make something completely new. And as far as I can tell, nobody's doing that. Everyone who's tried has failed, except for servers like Hoplite and MCC Island, and that's because they updated. MCCI is just putting a twist on some of our favorite 1.8 minigames, but with custom textures and abilities that you can only get in modern Minecraft. Hoplite is basically UHC, a 1.8 classic, but with all the luxuries of a 1.21 server. And when that came out, like, everyone that used to play UHC started coming out of the woodworks and giving it a try, even players that had quit years ago. It brought that community back from the dead, because just like everything else in 1.8, there was no originality, no innovation, nothing was new. And last but not least, the one we all already know, 1.8 is just old. It's outdated. So much has changed in the last 8 years that 1.21 is almost a completely different game. Not only are there completely new weapons, game mechanics, world generation, music, textures, and everything else you could imagine, but a lot of the problems 1.9 introduced have been fixed. I mean, one of the major criticisms was that it just made PvP slow and boring, but now we have enchants like Riptide and Windburst that make all these new weapons actually fun to use. The performance of 1.9 wasn't amazing either, and that's been a problem for years, but I can open a world in vanilla 1.20 and get 2000 FPS, even more than I could get in Minecraft 1.8. And of course, you can't forget how Minecraft 1.9 suddenly decided a wooden axe was as good as a diamond sword, which I still don't really get, but since then, swords have got sweeping edge, you use axes to disable shields, people are using end crystals and dripstone to fight, and of course, you've got all the new weapons too. Everything plays its part, and it's not just one weapon for every fight like it used to be. Nowadays, PvP is definitely different than 1.8, but it's just that, different. It's not the half-hearted revamp 1.9 was. It's had time to develop, to evolve, to grow, and we've grown with it. For the first time in years, Minecraft PvP is finally good again, and the cost is the death of Minecraft 1.8. Now go out there and fight. Thanks for watching, and I hope you all enjoyed. Have a good one. Peace, peace. It's not the half-hearted revamp 1.9 was. It's had time to develop, to evolve, to grow, and we've grown with it. For the first time in years, Minecraft PvP is finally good again, and the cost is the death of Minecraft 1.8. Now go out there and fight. Thanks for watching, and I hope you all enjoyed. Have a good one. Peace, peace. It's not the half-hearted revamp 1.9 was. It's had time to develop, to evolve, to grow.